Video games are a very flexible medium to express any view one has towards the world. It can either be narratively focused in strictly controlled scenes, or tell its story in a fluid pacing within its gameplay. In my opinion, games express the ideas most effectively when telling their story through strict narrative designs, and no game shows off this style better than the blunt and memorable series God of War. I would like to talk about Kratos. Yes, that man of pure vengeance and self-loathing pride. Someone who always felt he needed to kill and only seemingly stopped when he had destroyed his world as he knew it. This man who many fans had wondered whether he would appear as if a phoenix incarnate someday or be left behind due to his supposedly rough character traits. Yes, he ended up returning in 2018, 8 years after his assumed demise in God of War 3. However, I would like to think back to 2010, when Kratos had finished his vengeance. He had been cursed to live with the memory of killing his family, had been betrayed by his father due to some curious Pandoran circumstances, and had finally defeated every entity that had stood in his way. Due to the deaths of but a few of the gods of Olympus, the world had become destabilized and threatened to destroy all of Greece. And while Kratos looked upon all the chaos he had allowed to spread, he attempted once again to end his life, not for himself this time, but for the hope that the lives of everyone who might have survived the consequences of his actions could rebuild and start anew. However, he had become so physically resilient that this attempt had done more than he had expected. It had given him this hope as well. A hope at a new future for himself, something he had never attempted to think about. He left the lands he had known so long and headed north. Think about the mental fortitude of such a human, someone who had gone through so much, but determined to keep trying and prosper anew with his newfound lessons burning inside him. He was a nihilist through and through for the entire breadth of his games, only briefly hoping to forget his deeds before reality crashed into him like the waves on a cliff. He was once forced to keep moving along for the burning embers of rage that he still held for his supposed saviors. But at the end of his Grecian life, he had learned that new loves and desires could be born within himself if he left his hatred aside. He found new hope, and I think that is what makes him an anti-nihilist, someone who continually finds new things to believe in, and doesn't let his past define him.